Hello everybody and welcome to the video notes for Unit 5, Day 4. And today we are learning about this concept of the mean and thinking of the mean as a balance point. Today's video is dedicated to Camilla in 6B. Hi Camilla. Before we get started, double check that you have the necessary materials for today's lesson. You should have a ruler. You should have a long piece of tape, like this, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 pennies. Sorry, I have some ink on my hands. 4 pennies. And obviously, if you're watching this, you have your computer. So the mean, that's what we're going to fill in here, M-E-A-N, in math. The mean, or another word for the mean is the average. So the mean or the average of a set of numbers. And if you think about like what your grade point average is, your GPA is, that's kind of like the number that represents the middle value of all of your grades. So the mean of a set of numbers is what we can say is the value that represents the middle. And I want you to put middle in quotes, because it might not be the actual number that's right in the middle. And for today, I want you to think of the mean of something as being the balance point. So you can also think of the mean as the balance point. So whenever you see mean today, think balance point. Let's read the first problem. Mr. Yen is trying to figure out about how long it takes students to get to school. It takes Byron A 1 minute to get to school, because she lives right across the street, around there. And it takes Diego 11 minutes to get to school. I don't know if that's actually true. For this problem, let's just say it is. So let's put the two values on the dot plot below. Byron A takes her 1 minute, so we put her point right here. Diego takes him 11 minutes, so we'll put his point all the way at 11 right here. Next it says, use your ruler to represent the dot plot above. Each inch equals 1 minute. So 1 inch into the ruler is 1 minute. To estimate the mean of the two numbers, tape a penny at 1 inch and tape a penny at 11 inches on your ruler. Use your finger to find the balance point. So here's how we're going to do that. You have your ruler and your piece of tape. What I want you to do is with your piece of tape, measure out like about a finger length worth, so about 1 inch. And I just want you to rip 1 inch of tape, so it's about that long. And then I want you to, with the sticky side, you're going to create a loop. So I'm folding it over to create a loop so it's sticky on both sides. That way, I can take my penny, stick it on one side of the penny, and the other side will still be sticky. And we want 1 penny at 1 inch for 1 minute, because that's how long it took Byron A to get to school. So you find the 1 on your ruler, and so that the middle of the penny is right at 1, you're going to stick it right there and press it, just like that. So now we have 1 penny at 1 inch. And we're going to do the same thing for the second penny to put it at 11 inches. So you go back to your long piece of tape here, tear off another inch, about a finger length, or the end of your finger, tear it off. You're going to loop it. Fold it over. Take another one of your pennies, stick it on one side of the penny, and let's put it at 11. So the middle of the penny is lined up right where the 11 marker is. Just like that. Okay, so now you have 1 penny at 1 and 1 penny at 11. And then it says to use your finger to find the balance point. Okay, the way that you do that is take your finger, right in the middle of this ruler should be a hole. Put your finger underneath that hole and see where on this ruler your finger needs to be so that it's balanced, right? So if my finger's over here, it's going to fall over this way. If my finger's too far this way, it's going to fall over that way. But if you notice, when my finger's right in the middle, the ruler stays on my finger. It doesn't lean to the left, it doesn't lean to the right. It's perfectly balanced. Okay, and notice how my finger is right at 6 inches. So that means we can say here, the balance point is at 6 inches. Therefore, the mean of the two numbers between 1 minute and 11 minutes is 6 minutes. So 6 minutes represents the middle of these two numbers, 1 and 11, because that's where the balance point was. Okay, let's read the next problem. Mr. Yen asks 2 different students. It takes Donna 4 minutes to get to school, and it takes Mark 8 minutes to get to school. So then you're going to move your pennies to 4 inches for 4 minutes and 8 inches to represent 8 minutes. So all you have to do this is go back to your ruler, and we're going to move the pennies to 4 inches and 8 inches. So all you should have to do is just pick up the penny, the tape should come with it, and then just move it to 4 inches, like there. This one, pick it up, and move it to 8 inches, right there. And then you're going to do the exact same thing, find the balance point, write down how many inches that is. Therefore, that means the mean is that many minutes. And then once you answer those, I want you to say, what do you notice about the 2 pennies' distances from the balance point? So if my balance point is right in the middle, what do you notice about this distance? And what do you notice about this distance? How are those 2 distances related? That's how you answer that. And then answering the rest of this page, number 2 and number 3, should be pretty straightforward. And so when you're done, raise your hand, you and your partner raise your hand at your desk, and you can get your teacher check. And then once you get your teacher check, you can turn the page and keep on going. Okay. And with that,
thank you so much.
you can go ahead and close your computer and log out.